Are you a fan of any team in the Premier League top 6? You're going to want to check this one out. Now, this one is called the Schalke 04 Asymmetric Tactic, brought to you by Promse88. Sorry if I'm butchering that. The description says, made this tactic for my first save since the early release save I did with Roma. It got me promoted at the first attempt with record points, goals scored along with XG, goals conceded, blah, blah, blah. Literally, blah, blah, blah. See pics. So he did do Schalke great justice, getting them promoted and all that, did wonderful stuff with them. We're going to check them out with our 3 teams, Liverpool and Aston Villa in the Premier League, and then the championship side of Ipswitch Town, as we always do. Again, Schalke 04 Asymmetric. I love asymmetric tactics. They just seem to work a lot of the time. It is attacking mentality, sweeper keeper in defense, wingbacks on the left and right, ball playing defenders in the central spots, ball winning midfielder, box to box, and then an inverted winger, advanced playmaker up front with an inside forward in attack, and then an advanced forward up front all the way. They do have individual instructions, so keep that in mind. In possession, you've got attacking with is fairly wide, approach play, pass into space, passing direct is shorter, tempo is higher, low crosses and run at defense. In transition, counter press, counter, and roll it out. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, standard defensive line, trigger press much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Pause where you want to see it. A little more. I tend to go through that pretty quickly. But how did it do for our 3 teams? Starting with Liverpool and Aston Villa. Holy crap. 103 points, 115 goals, 33, 4, and 1. Almost a perfect season. Insane. I definitely want to run this again just to see how it does. But Aston Villa in 9th do get Europa League, but 54 points is definitely not great for them. I'm going to say they won some more trophies with all of that. Brentford is the only loss they had the entire season. That's insane. They had, trophy-wise, they have a perfect season. I think we see that coming. If we look at the FA Cup and the EFL Cup, you can see EFL Cup final right there, 2-1 against Arsenal, beating Aston Villa in the roll-up. And then FA Cup final, 3-0 over West Ham. 3 trophies right there. And then Europa League final, 5-1 over PSG. They blitzkrieged them. That is crazy. I mean, RB Leipzig 6-1, 3-1, so 9-2 on aggregate. Following that up with PSG with 5-1, that's insanity. That is a phenomenal season. Absolutely crazy. I am fully expecting amazing things here. I mean, goals-wise, 33 for Salah, 33 for Nunez, 28 for Szoboszlai, Jota with 23, 20 for Gakpo. That's crazy. That's probably the best series, the grouping of stats that I've seen. 27 assists for Szoboszlai. McAllister's in there with 21. But average rating, I actually expected probably a little more, but 7.49 for Szoboszlai. Salah was 7.49. Yeah, that's where you expect to see those 2 boys. Now, clearly, Aston Villa lost to Liverpool in the EFL Cup, so they're out there in the semifinals, and then to Coventry, almost immediately at least, FA Cup 5th round. That's crazy. You beat Luton Town, but you lose to Coventry. But that does mean we know exactly where they get Europa League. Europa Conference League final, 3-2 over Fiorentina yet again. It seems to be almost always the case. So, wow, goals-wise, Ollie Watkins with 37, Diaby with 22. I was going to say something before and completely forgot when I saw that 37. 21 assists for Jacob Ramsey, Leon Bailey with 14. Average rating, Jacob Ramsey with 7.24. I mean, overall, they've got some good numbers. They would have liked to have picked a couple of these players up into the greens and maybe a few more assists spread around. But overall, I mean, it was an okay season. Got a trophy. At least you got that. Yeah, look at the data hub. Shots percentage for Liverpool is the only one down, minus crossing and passing percentage. Fouls against per game, but goals, non-penalty expected goals, shots are insane, through the roof, defensively as well. And if we switch to Aston Villa, you got some good numbers, especially shots and non-penalty expected goals, but goals per game, fouls against per game, a little bit down, passing and crossing, not great. Defensively, again, I don't know why these tactics are all about the defense lately, but as you can see for the Premier League stats, Liverpool are not tops in every category, which I'm almost surprised at. Most goals, 115, clear winners over Man City at 84. Fewest shots against, both are up there. Nobody for possession, we've expected that from the data hub, but most dribbles made, Liverpool in there. Tackles won, Aston Villa. So you've got a lot of missing stats here, but attacking wise, shots for 702 to Man City 628. Yeah, I think Liverpool's attacking side with pretty much the bang on amazing team that you expect, the Ferrari that they are up front. As we shift sights to the championship side, Ipswitch Town in 4th place, 85 points, a pretty good haul overall. 103 goals, just second to Norwich. Unfortunately, they do get the playoffs and they lose out in the semifinals against Southampton 4-2 in aggregate. EFL Cup out in the second round against Leeds, and then FA Cup out in the 4th round against Coventry. As we look at their squad, 35 goals for Hurst. Now that's what we're expecting. That's a fantastic one right there. 19 for Connor Chaplin, Marcus Hunters with 14. Assist-wise, we've got no one in the double digits. And an average rating rise, 725 for Carlos Borges. So on loan, 740 for Christian Walton, only one appearance though, 719 for George Hurst. Again, you got some good numbers there. I don't know why more are not in the green, but at least you're hovering around 7 for a lot of them. But as we move to the championship stats, most goals, 105 are in there. I mean, that's including the playoffs picture. But overall, you know, if they're in here, they're kind of on the average side. So nothing to really write home for, but attacking wise, yeah, that's where it's at. Overall, though, this was a fantastic tactic for Liverpool, at least in our sim. But again, this is just a sim. I've done nothing with the tactic. I'm doing no shouting, no training, no transfers. It's all down to my assistant coaches and managers taking control of absolutely everything for the entire season. 103 points, though, is absolutely insane. So if you're a top 6, take a look. If you're Aston Villa or somewhere mid-table or lower, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could get a much better job, do a much better job than 54 points. You could get, I mean, a couple more wins, you can get into 5th or 4th. But unfortunately, it just didn't work here for them. Ipswich Town doing an okay job too, but unfortunately just not getting through the playoffs. You might be able to do a bit better their job there if you took control of yourself. But that is it for me and Liverpool, who had just had an absolutely insane amount of trophies and points and goals. It was the best tactic they could have ever hoped for. But that is it for me, Seffian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.